All right, let's do it. Some things we should have learned last year, but probably didn't, which is fine. All right, that's why we're doing this whole big important review unit. First up, how to solve equations by factoring today. All right, by factoring. X cubed minus 2x squared minus 24x. Find all the values of x. Let me give you a little secret right off the bat. What's the highest exponent in that equation? 3. That's how many answers you should have. Whatever the highest exponent is, that's how many answers you should have at the end. So keep that in the back of your mind. All right, I'm not going to solve this unless I know how to factor. Say the same thing to you I said first unit when we did factoring together. Look for a GCF first. Every time, look for a GCF. Do I have one I can take out? Yes. Yep, each of them, all of them have an x I can take out. So let's roll. So let's take out an x. And what's going to be left inside the parenthesis now? X squared minus 2x minus 24, all still equal to 0. Well, you told me you had 3 answers. There's no way I'm getting 3 just from what I wrote down there. Keep going. Keep factoring. Now let's look what's inside the parenthesis. Now you're going to play a little game, right? 2 numbers that what to negative 24? Multiply. I always start there. Start thinking about those numbers now. And at the same time, they have to what to negative 2? Add. There we go. Start thinking about the multiplying, though, first. X. Anybody got numbers multiplied as 24, 2 apart? 6 and 4, definitely. Get those down. 6 and 4. Now you just got to worry about the signage. Negative 6. Positive 4. Don't forget about your x. Because how many answers did we say we're going to have? 3. Yeah, and if you forget that x, you're only going to have 2. All good so far on the factoring. All right, now we solve for x. That x you just took out as a GCF is an answer. It needs to get set equal to 0. That's one answer, maybe. Next up, you set the next parenthesis equal to 0. So x equals 6. And then set the next parenthesis equal to 0. X equals negative 4. Got your calculators? Let's roll. Fire them up. Because I told you I'm going to make you work for all this. We're going to check and check and check to see if those are actually the 3 answers I should have. So let's check if 0 is an answer. Everyone hit your 0 button. Everyone remember where the store key was, right to the left of the 1. Store that in for x. Enter. You go back to the original problem that was written at the top. X cubed minus 2x squared. X cubed minus 2x squared minus 24x. And notice what it's equal to. It should be equal to 0 if this is a solution. And it's equal to 0. Perfect. Now, hey, once you do the first check, the next 2 should go pretty darn quick because you already have it typed in and you can copy and paste it. So next one is 6 an answer. 6, store in for x now. And look, this is why it goes quick. You just pop yourself up. So some of you can, some of you can't, depending on what version of calculator, but I think most of you can. And do I get it out? Got 0. There's the solution. And then the final one we got to check, negative 4. Make sure you use the negative sign. Store that in for x. And do I get out 0 when I copy this over? Beautiful. You can now move on to this next question knowing you got it right. I don't understand why we won't check. Do it now. Do it now because, was it Wednesday, the next teach day? You might have to reject an answer. Today you'll accept everything, but you might as well just check to be sure you're correct. All right? And if it doesn't come out to be what it needs to be equal to, that's a U error. Not reject it, that's a U error if it doesn't come out to be what it's supposed to be equal to. All good. All right, 2. How many answers at the end? Keep it in the back of your mind. 3 answers at the end. Anything you want to do first? Take out an x. Got to look for it first. And inside I'll have x squared minus 36. Any eyes lighten up? X squared minus 36 back in the day. Difference of 2 perfect. You even know what it was called. Great. That makes me happy. I'm done. X plus 6 and x minus 6. Remember to take that x out. Keep going. Everyone see where your 3 answers would be. X equals 0 should be 1. Set each parenthesis equal to 0. X equals negative 6 should be another one. And finally, x equals positive 6 should be another one. And we got plenty. That's what's nice with the notes. They don't take long. So you guys go ahead and take a minute to check them. Everyone all right doing these so far? All right, well, we do have to talk about one other method of factoring to solve these. You know, we had difference of 2 perfect squares, multiply and add to this. We now got to talk about what's the deal here now. All right, solve for x. How many answers at the end? 3. Ooh, no GCF to take out though. 4 terms, no GCF. Back in the day, grouping. Nice, kids. We remember stuff here. All right, grouping. We usually group the first 2 and the last 2 together. Whew. Look for to take a GCF out of each. What are we thinking for the first one? X squared. And I should be left with 2x. That's it. You're minus 1. Don't forget about the 1. Hey, when we group, that second parenthesis should have a 2x minus 1 left in it as well. So start turning the gears and saying, hey, what can I take out of negative 8x plus 4 so I'm left with the 2x minus 1? You can take out a bunch of things, but I want to be left with 2x minus 1 again.
Negative 4.
4, negative 4. What's going to be left with 2x minus 1? Negative 4. If you just pulled out a 4, the signs would be positive 8 and negative 4. Or, excuse me, negative 2x and positive 1. I don't want that. So 2x minus 1 left. All right, let's refresh. What do they both have that's in common on the left and the right here? Okay, so you got to take it out like a GCF. Take out 2x minus 1. And then in your second parenthesis, let me know what's left when you take out a 2x minus 1. Yeah. How many answers?
3.
How many? I should have 3. I'm only going to see 2 here because what do I need to keep doing? Difference of 2 perfect squares. Woo. Plus 2 minus 2. All right, let's talk. What are my 3 answers going to be? Well, 2x minus 1 equals 0. What do we get there when we solve for x? Half, yeah. And then I'll have x plus 2 equals 0. So hopefully x equals negative 2 is an answer. And my third and final one. x equals 2. Go ahead. Just get used to this checking. I'm not dropping it. Any questions? Going? All right. Number 4. All I did on number 4 is I changed vocabulary terms on you. Everyone see now find the zeros now? That's a fancy way of saying what's the solution. Okay, what's the solution? So zeros, still looking for the solutions. The value of x. All right, I just changed the vocabulary on you. So 0, I want to know when this bad boy equals 0. That's my solutions, my zeros. How many answers? I'm going to ask every time. Oh, only 2 this time. All right, what do you want to do first?
GCF.
Oh, okay. Which would be what? 2. What's left? X and X. Oh, no, hold on. I'm getting ahead of myself. One job. X squared minus 2x minus 3. Oh boy, how about those numbers? Multiply to 3, add to negative, multiply to negative 3, add to negative 2. Well, there's only 2 numbers that multiply to 3. I hate to break it to you, all right? 3 and 1. Just what's the sign's going to be now? Okay. You guys said we're going to have how many answers? 2. But I have 3 things listed up there. All right. Remember that 2 we took out? Does this make sense? 2 equals 0 when I said it equal to 0? No. So unless the GCF has a variable in it, you're not going to set it equal to 0. Okay? 2 has nothing to do with my answer at all. It's not going to be part of it. Unless the GCF has a variable, you don't set it equal to 0 because this doesn't make any sense. 2 equal to 0. So that's gone. So what where are my 2 answers going to come from? X minus 3 equals 0. X plus 1 equals 0. So you get x equals 3. Check it. X equals negative 1. Go ahead and check it. And the good thing about checking, if you did think 2 was going to be an answer and you checked it, I don't think it would have been equal to 0. Copy, paste, clutch. Anything so far? So those last three were just different types of factoring, okay? Or last four, different types of factoring. Can I get away without factoring in some of these problems? Answer is darn right we can. We do not have to factor every single problem to find x. Let's talk about this bad boy. The solutions to this one. Now, I know some of you see x plus 4. Oh boy, do I have to go x plus 4 times itself? Nope. We're going to save ourselves some trouble here. Bless you. Let's get the x plus 4 squared by itself. How you want to move over the 2? Yeah, move over the 2. Watch what happens here and why we don't need to factor. Go ahead, add the 2 over. All right, everyone see where we are right now. Remember, we're trying to solve for x. Your entire math career, how have you gotten rid of a square? You took what on both sides? Okay, so you took the square root, right? So why can't we do that here? What am I going to be left with on the left side? Left side, x plus 4, right? The square and the radical cancel each other out. And over here, I get 9. Or 3, excuse me, square root of 9. Wait a second. I should have asked this at the beginning. How many answers do we have here?
2.
2, right? It's the highest exponent. But when I move the 4 over and get x equals -1, I'm only going to get one answer. Anybody notice the mistake? Not the mistake, but something we didn't see. When you take the square root of 9, Sarah, you should be left over with what? Just not +3, but -3. All right, everybody? So when you take this, if we're going to do it this way, we got to be disciplined and say, oh, I'm left with the plus and minus version. So one of my answers is going to be move over the 4, -4 plus 3. And my second answer will be -4 minus 3. Everyone see where we're coming up with that? Again, I subtract 4 on both sides. That's how it becomes -4. And I get each of these here. So when you take the square root, we got to remember it's the plus or minus version. So x equals -1 and x equals -7. And I want to check this one with you here. All right, I'm going to check this one with you. Any issues on how we got x? We can do this using square roots. All right, let's go to our calculator now. Test -1. -1, store in for x. Type it just like it's on your paper at the beginning. Parenthesis, x plus 4, square it. -2. Now, every time you were hoping it was going to be 0. Not this time, though. What's it equal to? 7, right? 7. So I should have 7 out. Enter. Boom! 7. Good? Should be 7. Whatever it's equal to, that's what I want. And then just to be on the safe side, how about what?
Isn't it negative?
It's got to be equal to the original, right? Now I'm going to test out -7. -7, store in for x. Go up. And hopefully we get what out? +7. Yes, we do. We're good. We're good. Ready for the next one? Any questions?
Can you move this?
Or how about you just move yourself?
Oh, sorry.
Nobody's home anyway, so.
So then would it be easier?
Anything else I can accommodate for people here? Anything else? How about I just, there we go. If they happen to hop on, they can take a look at the wall. All right, I think they should have hopped on by now anyway. Other questions? Anything else? Ice cold glass of water and lemonade. Anything else there anybody can accommodate? All right. Anyway, next one. All right, how many answers again? Next one. 2. All right. Now, first of all, do you see how I just have x squared and that's it? That's how I know I won't have to factor. If I just have x squared, I can take the square root. All right. If I just have x squared, let's get the x squared all by itself, and then I'll take the square root at the end. That's my goal. So help me get the x squared by itself. First move. That's what I was thinking.
Minus.
Get the 13 over. Subtract 13. Negative 36. X squared equals negative 25. All right, I don't have the x. Can't take the square root. Not unless the darn thing's by itself. X squared needs to be by itself. Next up. Add. It's being multiplied. Divide by negative 36. Yep. Oh, that is not looking nice. Oh, yep. Let's go to my calculator. Negative 25 divided by negative 36. We have been together for, what, 4 or 5 months now? Do you think I want that written down? Nope. Oh, well, I know how to turn it back to a fraction. Oh, positive 25 over 36. So we'll take it. And I know that's, some of you may be like, oh boy, this is not going to turn out great, but 25 and 36, oh, not bad numbers to have. Now that I have x squared alone, what can I do on both sides? Square root both sides. X equals, now your calculator can do this, but also you can have this big square root is the same as taking the square root of each number. It's the same exact thing of taking the square root of the whole thing. Take the square root of 25 over 36, which would be 5, 6. Yep. Thank you, because we said 2 answers at the beginning, so that's where we got to be disciplined, plus or minus 5, 6. Okay, plus or minus 5, 6. So if there's just an x squared, and that is it, just x squared, we can get it by itself and take the square root. All good? Anything? Oh, you got to check. Go ahead. Sorry. Check. Yep. 5, 6. Here you go. Just put it in a fraction template. 5, 6. Store that beast in for x. And what are we checking here? 13 minus 36 x squared. And remember, what are we hoping for our answer here? What is that?
Negative.
Yep, and hopefully. Boom. And then go ahead and store negative 5, 6 in. Same thing. Questions, comments, concerns? 7. Just an x squared, right? So why don't we just take the square root at the end? But not yet though. You got to get x squared by itself. Ooh, how do I get x squared by itself here? How do I get rid of that 4? Yeah, go ahead. You can cross multiply. You can multiply it by 4. Let me actually rewrite this. Times 4 times 4. X squared equals 36. Oh, that's a nice, easy one, huh? Just be disciplined, right? X equals plus or minus 6. Go ahead, check. Quick check. Make sure it equals 9.
So when you get that,
Yep.
Can you write out when you do the 2 numbers? Is it like
X equals 6. X equals negative 6.
x equals 6? Oh, okay.
Okay.
So you don't have to do it like equals 0 all the time? Like-
Only if you factor.
Okay.
Only if I factor. If I'm just taking the square root of x squared, no need to set anything equal to 0. We're all good? All right, I need you to do me a favor. Off to the right-hand side, you got some nice white space there. Off to the right-hand side, can you put question 7.5 on for me? All right, question 7.5. And the reason we got to do this question is because you have one similar to it tomorrow on your assignment. And everyone's going to be asking the same question. How do we do this one? How do we do this one? And so I might as well just show you a version of it. Everyone have a good break. Here you go, 7.5. We got anybody? Nope. Still rolling solo over there. Thought I was going to have at least one joining, but guess not. All right, ready? 2x squared minus 9x plus 4 equals 0. Got to go over this type. Is this something I'm going to be able to square root at the end? No, because I got an x there too. If I just had 2x squared and that was it, yeah, maybe we could square root, but not this. Any GCF? Ooh, boy, how do we do this one? No GCF. It's got 3 terms. You're still going to group. You're still going to group, but don't you need 4 terms? We're going to do a little magic. We're going to take this 9x, negative 9x, and turn it into 2 terms. So we're going to have 2x squared. We're going to take that negative 9x and break it up into 2 terms. Plus 4 equal to 0. So we are going to turn it into a grouping problem. And I heard some good things already come out. Yep, you're going to do a times the c to start this process off, which would be 2 times 4, positive 8. All right, you guys take over. In these 2 blanks, I need something that's going to multiply to 8. But when I put them together, I better get that negative 9 back up here. So 2 numbers that are going to give me 8, but when I put them together, combine them, they better give me a negative 9 still in the middle.
Negative 8,
Oh.
negative 1.
And the order doesn't matter. Okay, I heard you.
What sign do you put in the, what do you put in the middle?
What's that?
Like what sign do you put in the middle? Like oh.
Well, it's got to be a negative 9. I've got to combine and be a negative 9. So if you're going to give me 8 and 1, they better both be negative. Does everyone see what I mean? When I combine them, combine the like terms, it gives me a negative 9 back. And if I multiply them, they give me that positive 8. All good? Now you group. Now it's just grouping. First 2, last 2. So what am I taking out of this first one? 2x. So I can be left with x minus 4. Ooh. What am I going to have to take out of this next one to get an x minus 4, huh? Yeah, negative 1. You guys are acting like you've been there before. Because you have. Even though it was in September. And I liked most of it. What's common on both sides? X minus 4. And then I'm going to have a 2x minus 1 left over. Perfect, because how many answers should I have had? How many answers should I have had?
2.
Look at the original problem. 2, highest exponent. Yep. Still set them equal to 0. We got x equals 4. And x equals, what do you get here? Positive 1/2. Go ahead and check. While I see what the great conversation is about here while I try to teach. Zero reaction. Just tried to stare him down. All checked out. All right, last one. And that is it. It's not like go on to anything else. We're done. Done. All right, with 8, how many solutions we're gonna have? Oh boy, how are we gonna do this? Any GCF? Nope, I can't square root this at the end. Absolutely not. We're gonna have to factor it. All right, we're gonna have to factor it, and we can. There's no reason why we can't factor this. What's the number out in front? It's a 1, right? So usually when there's a 1 out in front, I can do the old like we did at the very beginning. Multiply to this and add to this, and I still can. Don't be afraid of the x to the 4th. I'll talk about that at the end. But see how my last number is 9? Middle number is -10. Give me some numbers that multiply and add. Multiply to 9, add to -10. We can still do this. -9 and -1. So I got the 9 part down. Now I got to get the x to the 4th and the 10x squared down. So I need these two right here, these two blanks, to be x to the 4th.
X squared.
Am I going to get a -10x squared in the middle? You're darn right. Look, -1x squared, -9x squared. I'll get a -10x squared. You guys, no problem. Wait a second. How many answers are we supposed to have? I only see I could have possibly 2 here.
Isn't the x squared?
What are you telling me about x squared minus 9?
It's perfect.
Keep going, right? X plus 3, x minus 3. And this is, a lot of students don't think you can do it, but we can keep going.
You can do perfect.
X squared minus 1, that's perfect squares again. X plus 1 and x minus 1. There's your 4 answers. There will be your 4 answers. Tomorrow, you'll come in and you'll do classwork 7.1. If you have questions, ask. You can work with anybody you want. Once you're done, you'll call me over and I'll check your answers. No reason why we can't leave without 100s tomorrow unless you're just lazy and don't want to do anything. If you're not here tomorrow for some reason, you're still responsible for this. Still responsible for this. All right? So that's how it's going to go from now on.
We got them before break. Or they're the last day. And I think it's